Okay, let's keep it moving right along. A very funny gentleman, Mr. Jim Andritch.
How you doing? Anybody here from local town like Laguna Pills? Or Coda Day Caucasian down the road here? I want to welcome you to the Playhouse. I always feel like such a degenerate when I do this voice. But unlike France, you have to shower to be here. I recently turned 65 and my hairline is continuing its lifelong military plan. It's retreating. At this point, I have some hair, so any hair is a good hair day for me, bro. You may not be aware of this, so we'll talk about this. This is something that the media doesn't cover. There is a turf war going on in the alphabet. Consonants versus vowels. Vowels is kind of upstart, A-E-I-O-U, and they've created such a ruckus. They've created an identity crisis for Y. Y is sometimes a consonant, sometimes a vowel. So Y is the only letter in the alphabet that is bi-alphabetical. Now, it's true. It's shit they don't teach you in school, kids. Millennials, General Z, you'll never hear about this shit. Sorry. Anyway, the letter E is the most used letter in our language. So, of course, it's the most arrogant, the most cocky. Lets the whole alphabet world know that it's the man. So poor F already has a failure complex because it's the worst grade you can get in school. And so on top of that, it has to live next door to arrogant E. So one day he's out there just boasting and proud how great he is, and the neighbor F couldn't take it anymore, went off on him, and that's the day the term FU was born. Now, the letter X was always neglected, but now it's really busy raking it in since the advent of internet porn. I recently bought a cheap computer, and I'm really embarrassed to admit this. I would just say never buy your electronics at the dollar store. I should have known there was a problem because the manufacturer is Crapple Computers. It has a printer, but only uses invisible ink. And the computer, when I Google it to ask it a question, or when I type in a question, it Googles me with misspelled words. How you spell dog? And Crapple is now coming out with its first not too smartphone. It has a 2-foot antenna and a rotary dial. A couple of months ago, I went shopping at Nordstrom. Looking around, just browsing like you do. The security guard taps me on the shoulder. Sir, you must wear a mask. What? The COVID-19 guidelines have been relaxed. Oh, no, not that, sir. You're just ugly. I said, oh, yeah? Well, then I'm going to take my business to where they only let ugly people shop. Walmart! Let's see. A couple of quick impressions for you. This is Andrew Dice Clay teaching kids the alphabet. Fucking A. Fucking B. Andrew Dice Clay teaching kids math. 2 times O equals O! 3 times O equals O! Rodney Dangerfield. I tell you, even as a kid, I got no respect. One Christmas, I asked my parents for war toys. They gave me live hand grenades. The other night I was making love to my wife, and she was really into it strong for the first time in months. I said, honey, what's the difference tonight? Why are you so into it? She said, I imagined you as my right hand. I miss the old most interesting man in the world commercials, for Dos Equis beer. It was a gentleman who had all these lofty life achievements throughout his life, and then he'd have a little spiel at the end. The most interesting man in the world. He is the only one who is always under par for the course. He is a founding member of the Mile High Club. I don't always have sex, but when I do, I prefer women. Stay horny, my friends. The English language, as you probably know, has a lot of strange words that maybe have double meanings or things we don't think about, or phrases that you wouldn't think about. For example, there's an unkind word for illegitimate children. We call them fish feces, bass turd, bastard. And I know you're not aware of this, but every day that you drive your car, you're driving it on a butt crack. Asphalt. We can be wide awake, but we're never narrow asleep. I propose, since left-handers like me were called southpaws, sorry right-handers, you're northpaws. Men who go through women just for sexual purposes or whatever, they're called womanizers. A woman who does the same thing should be called a manizer. Or better yet, they're all sluts. Okay. Truth hurts, folks. It's like a visit to the dentist without anesthetic. Well, he's a bitch and so am I. Okay. In the store you can buy uncured ham. Why are you going to buy something that's still sick? I always love this one. The guy in a conversation, whoever, the first person who says, "That's what I'm talking about," he wasn't saying anything at all beforehand. I'm not a glass half full or glass half empty guy. I'm a who the hell stole half my drink guy. I also like the one that, you can count on me. You can always count on me. I can count on you. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I recently started collecting religious trading cards. They're sort of like baseball cards, except these have images of anything with church or remotely religious. For example, St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican, or Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, Shirley Temple. Baseball cards come with stale bubblegum. The religious cards come with a stale communion wafer. Oh man, I recently scored a Jesus Christ rookie card in mint condition. And I have an extra one, so I'm willing to trade it for a Joey Bishop. Are there baseball fans here? Okay, good. I used to be a baseball fan, but I don't know. I kind of have lost interest over the last few years. The season never ends. As you probably know, the 2020 season just ended yesterday. And I'm sort of one who looks at Little League Baseball as child abuse. If you're a real fan, you probably watch the MLB, Major League Baseball Network. So I recently went to the MLB Executive Board to try and propose a marketing plan to sort of kind of update and contemporize where baseball is really these days, declining ratings and such. The MLB Network slogan is "Baseball, our national pastime all the time." I propose baseball, our national past tense in the present tense. But realistically, I'm a casual baseball fan. I typically start watching around Game 8 of the World Series. And I mean, things have gotten so desperate that porn websites are now streaming baseball games. I'm really disgusted that porn websites have lowered their standards so much. Okay, quick! Mathematic lesson for audience participation. 4 times O equals O! Thank you. Good night. I'm Jim Andritch.
Jim Andritch. Where's the Jim Andritch fan club? Still here?